2005, he mastered time management, worked a work-study job on campus at Busch Gardens and a couple of other places. He ran a branch office in 2016 in Naples, Florida, and was #1. He developed an All-American who advanced the following summer. He was a senior branch in West Miami, 2007, and as the summer of 2016, he has a personal sales of $6.2 million in office sales. So a couple of other things real fast. He had a 10K push in 5 days as a DM, and that's super impressive because I'm a DM, and I know we're busy. On a personal note, I definitely, Mike is somebody that I really look up to. My kids, every time we come back from a conference and they have the opportunity to hear Mike Abramowitz speak, I always ask them, hey, what were your biggest takeaways? And Mike Abramowitz's name is always, always, always in the mix. So guys, to bring you the goods on driving your vehicle, let's go ahead and bring up Mike Abramowitz.
Thank you so much. I am so honored and excited to wrap up this event. I'll tell you right now that to dedicate an entire Tuesday of your life, hours, to this event, to growth, is pretty exciting. You're already the few who do versus the many that say they just want results. You're already there. The objective of my message to wrap up this event is to take all of the things that you learn and apply them to your life and to your business. See, we have patterns in life. The people we look at as being a success, they follow a pattern. And the beautiful thing about success is it leaves clues. And the people that we look up to who have what we desire, we can have what they have as long as we do what they're willing to do. See, a lot of people are in this hypnosis in our culture where they say, I want this, or someday I'll have that, someday I'll go on that trip, someday I'll have that pay raise, someday I'll have that relationship with so-and-so, someday I'll have that money, or be healthy. Well, we all know that someday leads to a town called nowhere. Leaving my message, leaving this conference, I want to leave you with a plan and a roadmap to help you use this business as a vehicle to get to where you want to be and create the results that you deserve, from having complaints to making them work. I'm going to talk about this wheel of life today, and I'm going to share some stories with you. I want to start off with relationships. This is something, growing up in New Jersey as the youngest of 8, and I'm excited that my sister is actually FaceTiming in for this from New Jersey. Hi, Deborah. I think back to Mike Abramowitz 2 weeks before I came in for my Cutco training seminar with cornrows. I got you. I think back to that guy, lacking confidence, and the person who instilled a lot of confidence into me was my mom. I think about a relationship with someone that has empowered me to become the person who I am today. 6 kids, helping us, all of our kids, with our friends who had troubled homes. She welcomed them in. Unfortunately, my mom, at this event, back in 2006, this is 10 years, lost the battle with cancer. And what's interesting enough is those last 10 years, at that moment, I thought it was the worst day of my life. But because of the relationship that I had with her, because I saw the strength that she embodied and what she went through during the 4-year battle from ages 16 through 20, allowed me to strengthen a relationship with her, even though that she's no longer here, she's in here. I think about a relationship. I think about a relationship with my dad. My dad works 6 days a week to this day. He's 75 years old, just hit his 75th birthday. And he still works 6 days a week. When my dad was a young kid growing up in Trenton, New Jersey, He had no hot water, no heat. He was actually left at 9 years old for the summertime to hang out with his cousins. His mom just left him there. His dad was an avid gambler and died in a casino. His mom really wasn't there. He was raised by his older sister, my aunt, and grew up in the slums with the roaches and the rats and everything else that comes with Trenton, New Jersey. And to see my dad build a business, to build a life, to raise his family. He speaks Polish, Hebrew, Arabic, Italian, Spanish, and English, all self-taught. He's completely generous. I witnessed my dad help many people between feeding them or helping them with shelter or helping them with clothing or food. And I remember the first time I saw my dad cry. When we got the news that when I was about 12 or 13 years old, it was a false news, but they said I had testicular cancer. And that was the first time I saw my dad cry. I'm okay. And I think back to those days when I was 12 years old and that relationship that I forged with my dad. And telling my dad, one day, Dad, you know what, we always talked growing up, I'm going to take you to Switzerland. And we always talked about it, and we loved to ski together. That was our thing. We went skiing every year, every couple times a year. And I said, one day I'm going to take you to Switzerland, because said when he was in the 70s, that's where his life, that was his dream in the 70s. The best place he's ever gone was Switzerland. I said, one day I'm going to take you there as a kid. And I'm proud to say that just 1 year ago, I was able to experience this.
I'll be 80 in 6 years. So this is like more than a dream for me. It's like a newfound life.
A newfound life at 74 years old, and I'll be 30. This is my last goal of my dreams list to hit before I turn 30 years of age. So I'm really glad to make this one dream come true. This business is a vehicle to help you with your wheel of life. The next part is time. I want you to write down, if you are taking notes, is 168 hours. 168. We all are blessed or sometimes cursed with the same 168 hours. Something I learned once is, when is now a good time? When is now a good time? When is now a good time to start being healthy? When is now a good time to start taking care of your business or pursuing those goals or take that trip or say I love you? When is now a good time? That question resonated with me after I went to a conference. And you know what? I left this conference, I said, I want to become a speaker. I want to become an author. I want to travel the world. I want to speak and influence the masses. So, I left an event on a freaking mission, and since that event, I'm proud to say I've influenced over 20,000 students and young professionals outside of vector marketing, because it is a passion for me to share with my experiences and what I've had to go through to create the life that I love every single day. I'm proud to say that I went to an event and I said, you know what, I want to write a book. I was like, I don't even know how to write a book. In fact, in 8th grade, 7th grade, I failed reading. Not many people know that. Because I didn't read the books. SparkNotes. I think the teacher knew something about SparkNotes too, so tricked me. I don't know, I have my engineering degree. I don't know how to write, but I did it anyway. I'm proud to say that I used my time and I released 2 books that were both #1 bestsellers last year. Both are on Amazon, and both are free for every single one of you today. All you do is text GRAB to 66866, and every one of you get both of those copies. For being a part of this event, for being amazing Cutco representatives, and being supportive of what we stand for as Vector leaders. The next part of our wheel of life is contribution and spirituality. I have a desire to help people. I love selling Cutco knives. It's fantastic. Helping them own the product line is great. But I'm talking about a bigger picture. I remember when I was in Denver, Colorado for my brother's wedding, and I was about 13 years old, and my dad gave me a $5 bill and said, go run across the street and give it to that guy who was eating french fries out of a garbage can. I said, all right. So I ran across the street, I tapped the guy on the shoulder, I said, here you go, mister. This is for you. He looked at me and looked at the $5, looked at me, and he kicked me right in the stomach. I dropped that $5, I ran across the street, tears running down my face. I was like, Dad, he kicked me in the stomach. Now, you know my dad a little bit. He's hysterically laughing, mind you. The joke on the trip was Mike got beat up by the homeless guy. And he said, you don't know what that guy's dealing with. All you need to know is you did the right thing. Good advice. So I continued to do the right thing. And one day we decided to feed some people. February 2015. We decided to make some sandwiches. 350 to be exact. Then we did it again the next month. And now I'm proud to say that we've fed 18,500 people since last year. In fact, CBS News was just at our office. I'll play this short clip for you if you haven't checked it out yet. It's pretty awesome.
It's always like this. This is about what it looks like. That's why it's called a frenzy.
And it's a frenzy that's feeding the needy in Tampa Bay. See who's making all of this possible. Stay right there. After you work all week long, the last place that you want to spend your Sunday morning is back in the office, back at work. But one group of do-gooders in Pinellas Park look forward to their monthly meeting back at work. 10 News reporter Bonnie Lewis is on the road where that trip back to work helps feed a community.
Here's another spreader if anybody needs a spreader. The room is small.
Yeah, cameo.
And shrinking by the minute. A lot of chaos, I get it. That's not a lot of work if there's a lot of people. Even on the weekend, the workload keeps growing. It's always like this. This is about it. This is about what it looks like. That's why it's called a frenzy. A frantic, hectic, sneaky frenzy. But it serves a good cause. It's a good cause, right? Michael Abramowitz and the rest of these volunteers call themselves PB&J for Tampa Bay. I like peanut butter jelly. We need some jelly ploppers and we need some jelly spreaders. Last February, they started eating and made 350 sandwiches. Well, let's do it again. So we did 500, and now we made a lot of sandwiches. Let's put it this way: 17,450 sandwiches before today. Simple thing like that, we make a big change. You can work up quite an appetite working this fast, but this food won't be eaten here. There's the guy. Let's give him some sandwiches. You hungry, man? We got some sandwiches. You're on election. All right. So let's start right there. Once per month, this group feeds those who truly are hungry. Do you know anyone who might need some food? We have a whole box, which started as just jelly on bread. What's your name? Truly. You guys hungry? That's spread. That makes me happy. Gives me proud. I got food. Now I can eat. I got up. See? Enough. Thanks to the frenzy. Hope for humanity is no longer lost. It's just an amazing thing to see other people shown up that they're giving back to the community. That's not just a sandwich. That's not just a meal. It's more than just that. On the road to Pinellas Park. Mission 1000. From Bobby Lewis, 10 News, WTSP.
Next month, PB&J in Tampa, they are going to make the 20,000 sandwich.
20,000.
20,000. Yep. For the homeless. Yep.
All of the sandwiches are made thanks to donations. If you'd like to help out, we have information on where you can take supplies online at WTSP.com. Second.
How do you run your business? Who do you run your business for? Is it just a way for you to make money? Because that's only one part of this wheel of life. There's more. There's more to this business than just those knives. And what you do matters. What we do matters. How do you wake up in your morning? What gets you out of bed to get to the gym at 5:30, 6 o'clock, sometimes 6:15 in the morning? This is why. Because what we do matters. In order for you to have emotional strength, you have to do the patterns and behaviors of what those successful people do. Do you think successful people say to themselves, I am going to fail today. Today's going to be tough. I don't have enough time. What is life going to be like if I don't do blah, blah, blah? Is that what their self-talk is like? Hell no. Know what do they say? They look in the freaking mirror and they attack that mirror and say, you're a freaking badass. That's what they do. You know what successful people do? They look in the freaking mirror and they say, you're capable. You're confident. You are the freaking best. You freaking rock. That's right. You got this. That's what successful people do. And that's why they continue to be a success. It starts up here. It starts up here. How we think, how we act, how we behave. What are your patterns? I'm here to tell you it's in our control. We control that wheel, and sometimes it's out of alignment, but the beautiful thing is it's in our control and we can get back on track, and get back on track, and get back on track. Because if we get offline, if we get off course, and we get off course, the weeds will take over the garden. We've got to tend to the garden of our mind, be the gatekeeper of our mind. That's what successful people do. What about your career, also known as your mission? According to that wheel of life. You could call it a job. Some people call it work. Successful people, we call it a mission. How do you wake up every day? I wake up every day because I love to serve my people. I love that I got a text message from Patricia Valadares, who was a trophy winner at This Push several years ago. And now is using a letter of recommendation that I gave her to get her into the MBA program at University of Florida, now to land her dream job at Procter & Gamble. What is your mission? Did I know at this conference, a week after I was at my mom's funeral, I chose to come to this event anyway because I wanted to be there for my team. I wanted to be there for myself. Did I think that 10 years later, I would be getting a text message because I didn't quit, I didn't give up because I changed this young lady's life? And she paid it forward. Is Dylan Fitz in the room? Young Dylan Fitz, you just saw him at his $150,000 milestone. This is a young man who's about to graduate from the University of Florida and was in tears going into his SC2 push because he didn't have people to call. He went from I have nobody to call to 55 sales over the course of an SC2 push. And now it's at 150,000 in sales because that young lady, Patricia, pulled him aside at a phone jam with tears coming down his face saying, I believe in you. What we do matters. Individuals' lives. I have 2 district managers that are in this business, influencing others, other branch managers that we put out, business owners outside of Vector, they advance within the company, all because of this knife job. How do you view your business? How do you view this vehicle? Finances. Don't get me wrong, hey, you talked about the money, we make money. There's no doubt. Managers get paid when you get paid, just like you get paid when Mrs. Jones buys those knives. That's how the process works. I'll tell you right now, it used to be about the money for me. Everything used to be about the money for me. At 22 years old, when I had 3 properties, plus inherited my childhood home, I had $1 million in net worth and assets and liabilities, and everything was a combined total of about $1 million. And from 22 to 25, when the market collapsed, not only did I lose my properties, but I lost $130,000 of my own money. When you go from here and money's everything and then you have none, what do you think my self-worth was? How do you get yourself off the couch? Because you got to understand that money doesn't control us. I'm not the slave to my money anymore. I'm not the slave to my thoughts. I'm the master. I learned that here in those chairs you're sitting in right now. I think about our health, our physical body. I went to a conference and I learned a bunch about fitness and health and diet and everything, and I was like, all right, I could do that. It was a 10-day challenge. 10 days, no meat, no dairy, drink a gallon of water a day. I was like, I could do that for 10 days. I did it for 10. I was like, I could do it for another 10, do it for another 10, do it for a month. 3.5 years now, no meat. Pretty cool. Some of you guys are like, I'm not vibing for that. That is insane. That's not worth a clap. The reason why I did it, I was talking on the car ride because I get educated, but here's what I will tell you. The reason why I accepted the challenge was more for self-control. It's all about self-control. If we cannot control the hand that puts the food in our mouth, how the hell are we going to influence and control anything else in our life? If we can't control getting up out of bed when the alarm goes off to get to the gym or go for a run, how are we going to control other parts of our life? Physical health is about self-control. I used to be 70 pounds overweight. I was going into high school, I was 250 pounds. Still got the belly. I'm not saying I'm there. But I am saying that I have a lot more energy. How do you balance all of this wheel of life? It's all about energy. Before I wind up this event, I want you to think about, I shared with you my wheel of life and hopefully helped you capture some of yours. I shared with you my Oz. What does yours look like? I want you to take a moment. I want you to envision what your wheel of life looks like. Just a moment, if you have that pen and paper. Envision what your wheel of life looks like. If you had to play out the cards, if you could fast forward, you heard what Mr. Scott Dennis said, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to go a little deeper on that, and I want you to think about, what do you want out of life? What does your Oz look like with your health? Write that down. What is your emotions and meaning? Are you the type of person where failure gets you down, or can you control those thoughts? What do you want out of your emotions? What do you want out of time? What do you want out of your career, your mission, your finances, your physical body? How do you want to make a difference in your community? Capture those thoughts. Because when you know your Oz and you start thinking about how you view life, and you start thinking about life not as who you are today, but as what life can be like. I have a vision board I wake up to every day. And every time I go to sleep, that's the first thing I look at and the last thing I look at. And on that vision board is places I want to travel to, relationship. It's my head on Channing Tatum's body. It's a little bit of everything on there. But one of the things I've had on there was that trip to Switzerland. And I didn't know which mountain we were going to go skiing on. I just wanted to go to Switzerland. But on that vision board, that's the picture. And when we were actually in Switzerland, I didn't know, but that was the same mountain we skied. That's the Matterhorn. It was unbelievable. The most beautiful place that I've ever been. And when I wake up in the morning and I do a breathing exercise, and it looks ridiculous. In fact, it sounds like I'm having an orgasm on the porch. It's really awkward. Just in case you wanted to know. I'll show you. This is what it sounds like. You go like this, you reach up in the sky, and you bring your energy down like this, and you blow out of your nose. So you go like this. And you do that 30 times, and then you take a break, and then you do it another 30 times, and then you take a break, and then do another 30 times, you take a break, and it brings you an immense amount of energy to your body. I do that when I wake up over the lake on my porch, and I didn't know that anyone could hear me until my girlfriend said one day, she says, I think people are going to start being concerned. You might want to do that inside. A final day in paradise. There it is. Incredible home. We're going to go. Hanging out outside in the mountains in this hot tub. It is all worth it. It is all worth it, Megan. Dreams come true. One card play hard. Dreams come true. You gotta work hard, you gotta play hard, you gotta figure out what you want. Ask yourself, why do you want it, and what actions are needed to help you get there. You can make it happen. And leaving this event, these are the 5 things that I would encourage every single one of you to do. 5 things every day. You figure out that wheel of life. What does your wheel of life look like? And you write a list of all the things that are in alignment with your goals. Somebody asked me, how did you do this book? How did you do all these things? Because I was intentional. What was I? I was what? Intentional. I was intentional. Things don't just happen to successful people. They make habits and they do pattern to get them there. Ashley said, man, he sold 10K in 5 days. How did that happen? I was what? Intentional. Everything is about intent. You can make things happen, but you gotta be intentional with it. Make your list. What are all the things that I want in life? What are actions that I can do to get there? And then wake up every day and say, cool, I'll write a list, and these are in alignment with my goals, and you check them off. Boom, 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 boom. You look at the list, you feel good, you write a new list, wake up to it the next day, check them off as you complete them, and watch what's gonna happen to your life. Because in 1 year's time, 12 months, you will have 1,800 items off of that to-do list. I guarantee you, you will feel good and you will be closer to the life you deserve. I'll leave you with this. One of my favorite movies, The Hunger Games. Have you ever seen that movie? Dude, Katniss Everdeen, that girl is on fire. You see what I did there, right? There's a scene in the second movie. There's a scene in the second movie where Katniss turns to Prim, her sister, and she says, you need to stay safe and you stay put and you stay here so you can live. I'll go out there and I'll fight. You live. And she said, Katniss, staying here under dictatorship rule, that's not living. That's just being alive. You're out there at least living a life. Stop being held captive of the person in your head. Start taking control. Grab your tomorrow. Start taking control of your life now. Start doing things now. When is your someday? Now. When is your someday? Now. Start taking action today, now in this moment. Thank you for your attention, your energy, and a great event.